You handled yourself well on the bank job.
It was fun.
Fun? Too much fun. That's always been this family's problem. Fun. Good causes, a good laugh, some stupid dream or some stupid distraction. But never any fucking focus. Never.
Focus.
All we've ever been is bitches, working for guineas, working for niggers. Any asshole with a buck, a whole lot spent in a proper manner. Oh yeah, whining women as quick as possible, and remain a slave forever.
Very poetical.
Yeah, I know. National tragedy.
As the middle child and heir of the McReary crime family, Gerald is the only thing keeping this once influential mafia, I would say, functional. Growing up in a grim household with a lack of mentor figures in his life, this self-made man of the house strives to keep the family name relevant by proving to be a better mobster than his predecessors ever could be, even as a drunkard. Gerald is arguably the hardest and most feared of the McReary brothers, and needless to say, the Irish mob would have fully declined a long time ago if he didn't pick up the slack. It continued with him, and it abruptly ended with him. Which is why in today's video we'll examine the inexplicable downfall of crime boss Gerald McReary. Born in 1973 as the third son of Maureen and Mr. McReary, Gerald's relationship with his two older brothers, Derek and Francis, were never a loving one. In fact, it was quite nasty, to the point where he would used to beat the shit out of Francis. But he was like a role model to his little brother Patrick, and at the very least, on good terms with his little sister Kate. Especially since their father was an abusive pedophile, to which he and Packy endured a lot of growing up. Due to this rough upbringing, Gerald's life of crime began at the alarming age of 13. And in 1986 he was arrested for grand larceny, among other offenses over the years such as assault, armed robbery, hijacking, conspiracy to commit extortion, and tampering with a sports contest. While his older brothers took different paths, Gerald took over the mafia not too long after their father committed suicide, though Packy suspects Gerald of killing him. As the leader of the mafia, his main objective is to bring down the Ancelotti crime family, with the affiliation of Ray Bacino, the capo of the Pecorino crime family. Before the big Bank of Liberty heist, Packy introduces Gerald to Nico Bellic, and Gerald, not taking kindly to newcomers in his drunken state, wastes no time asserting his dominance.
If there is a problem, I'll go. No trouble. I have other ways of making money.
Ah, no problem. I'll leave you boys to it. And you? Nothing personal, but don't fuck with my family, or I will fuck with yours.
It isn't until Nico proves his worth at the heist that impresses Gerald enough to employ him. All of his missions for Nico revolve around sabotaging the Ancelottis. Gerald's first two jobs have Nico trying to start a rift between them and the Albanian mob, first by rigging the car of Ancelotti capo Anthony Spoleto to blow up at their meeting with the other mob. Next, Nico poses as an Albanian thug to take down Frank Garone, another Ancelotti capo. Sometime after the funeral of one of his older brothers, depending on the player's choice, Gerald is arrested at the Alderney State Correctional Facility for racketeering, but he still continues to employ Nico even from behind bars. His last few missions all involve the kidnapping of Gracie Ancelotti, whom he wants to hold as a ransom for the diamonds, with her being the daughter of Ancelotti mob boss Giovanni and all. The missions play out in this order. Nico initiates her kidnapping by posing as a buyer for Gracie's pink Felser, which she was trying to sell online. Sometime after dropping her off at the hideout, Nico comes back to take a photo of Gracie to show to her father, who doesn't even believe she's kidnapped. but eventually he and Packy have to relocate her to another safe house after learning that her whereabouts were discovered by Tony Prince, a dear friend of Gracie's and the boss of Luis Lopez, the one who stole the diamonds in the first place. When Giovanni finally decides to surrender the diamonds, Nico and Packy take Gracie to be returned to Luis and Tony. At first, the exchange goes well, when suddenly Ray Bulgarin and his gang show up and start a huge shootout. It all ends with one of the goons stealing the diamonds and, out of petty spite, tosses them down into a passing truck. This puts Packy in a nerve-wracking position to have to break the news to his admittedly frightening temperamental brother, jail bars or not. And as for Gerald, well, it was originally deduced that his criminal charges won't stick, and he'll be back out in no time. But it turns out there is a lot more incriminating evidence against him than he and Packy thought. I wonder why? With this, he reluctantly comes to accept that he won't be out before another 50 years. He gives Nico the final Gracie mission, gives him his final goodbyes, and tells Nico to look after his family. Or whatever's left of it.